Hello and welcome. I'm going to have a go today at the fourth round of the FMWC Brazil. And as you'll know if you've watched any of these before, these cases are written in Portuguese. So far I have tried one that was translated into English by Klinsmann, the case author. I've tried one with the help of Google Translate. I've tried one all by myself with my patchy knowledge of Spanish, which just about got me through. And today I'm going to try it in Portuguese again, but this time I've just got hold of the translate function. So with a bit of luck, I'll be able to, should I need to, translate. Oh yeah, here we are. Brazilian circuit of the Microsoft Excel World Championship 2024. So I don't know, my Portuguese for esports is is passable now, but I'll probably use that a little bit. Anyway, this is the last of the regular. They're sort of mirroring the structure of the main FMWC. So this is like the equivalent of the Road to Las Vegas monthly rounds. This is the last of those, and then I guess imminently, by the time I get around to posting this in a few days from now, there's a qualifier round, and then they go into knockouts to select the Brazilian champion. So yeah, this is by Klinsmann Langhanz, as I think all the cases for FMWC Brazil have been. And that's enough chit chat. I'm going to start my timer because I do always try to see if I can get these done in the half hour. And let's go. Dia de Carona. Carona, senor. Deslocamento de... Okay. Do not know what that means, so let's just start by translating that. Translate. It's enough text that I probably don't need to tell it it's in Portuguese. What if a ride is not a displacement from one point to another, but sometimes without having to, let's copy value paste, but sometimes without having to pay. Okay. I guess this is about like ride sharing or something. Question 1 to 5. To answer the questions 1 to 5, it will be necessary to understand how to deslocar, must be a shift, to relocate, whatever, between distinct cells following the instructions. Okay. And level 6 and 7. Okay, you have to use the map spreadsheet. We will use a table. I guess that's this table. Fato, ref, and var. What the heck does Fato mean? Presumably I'm not going to be able to use translate on the abbreviated words, but let's get that one at least. Fact. Okay. Let's just make sure that we are in fact translating from Portuguese. Yeah, fact. Okay, I don't know what that means. Parar para ir no banho. I think this means stop to go to the bathroom. Okay, so this must be like potential sources of delay, I guess. I don't know. Let's just translate. Stop to go to the bathroom. I was right. Flat tire, harvested fruits, almost robbery. See beautiful landscapes, play video games. Bad driver's joke. Okay. Oh, this must be something to do with ratings, right? Anyway, okay, fine. I'll figure it out as I go. Okay, and have a good journey, I think. Okay, bonuses I'll come to at the end. Qual o número de linha de cada referencia? Okay, so I think we're just looking for the row number. I guess I'll just leave this here to... No, you know, I should hide it. Do it properly. So my preferred method here is just row of indirect of this. And that looks good. Okay. Qual o número de... Okay, so I think again we're just looking for a column of indirect. 27. Pretty sure it was there. Yes. Okay. So I think that's fine. Okay. Para cada conjunto de referencias, so for every combination of references fornecida, how many times does the columna de primera? Oh, so how many times the first? So example 3, tenemos que a primera referencia, so columna G. Okay, so I think we're counting how many of the references have the same column as the first one. So let's just try that. Let's say text split of this. by comma, and put on a filter, and we'll say how many start with G, and the answer is 5. Okay. And then the other question is, are any of these multi-letter? So my concern would be, in theory, you could have all of these, but then you could also have something like, you know, GH39, which would not be of interest. So I think what I can do is I'll use regex. So we'll use regex extract from here. The pattern is A to Z plus, and I want to return all matches. And that should, so there's no repeats here, but just for argument's sake, if I make this ABDH, then yes, that comes out as one group. So now I just want to say countifs this, oops, how many times is it this? And the answer is 5. And these will all be ref until I fill it in, but that's okay. Okay, so I think we're good there. What is the total distance percorrida, which I guess means travels between the two references? Fine. You're not permitted to move diagonally. Okay, so this is pretty simple actually, because we should just be looking at the difference between the number of columns and the difference between the number of rows, both absolute values. So what I want is absolute value of indirect, of row of indirect of this one minus row of indirect of this one. And then the same thing for the column differences and add the two together. So we'll replace row with column, and we'll expand my formula bar because I never really just need one line in the formula bar, and that gives me a 6, which matches. So we'll pop that in, and I think we're good there. Okay, level 5. Local chegada. Chegada is like llegada in Spanish, which is arrive. So I think it's asking where will we arrive after all these movements. So let's just, I'm going to regex extract again from here. Just want to split this up into all the little pieces, and then do unique by call. Okay, so it looks like we've just got the 4 directions. Yes, oops. I'm just trying to go down and only partly populated column. Okay, so then I'm going to want len of this minus len, substitute this for this to blank 6, and just double check. I don't think these are the emojis that have length 2. They're not. That's fine. That sums up to 25, which seems sensible. And then we just need to lock in this. Okay, so then we're interested in, first I need to let dest be offset from the start, which is indirect of this. Now, indirect of that. So the number of rows, we're going to increase the row number by this and decrease it by that. So it's going to be that minus that. And the number of columns, we're going to increase the column number by the number of right moves and decrease it by the number of left moves. And then I'm interested in the address of destination, of row of destination, column of destination, and 4, so I don't get any dollar signs. And I missed closing brackets, so yes. Q66, good, that matches. Happy days. All right, so now, oops, now let's go on down, level 6. Okay, so hang on. First things first, I have to look at the map here. Whoa, there's a lot going on. All right, so yes, these codes, I guess, correspond to these codes up here. So we've got various places where we need to take bathroom breaks or see scenic things or other things. Then we've also got some kind of color scheme here, but we don't seem to have a legend to explain what that is. So, okay, maybe the instructions will tell me about that. Let's see. Back up here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to the map. I think this is just saying, now that we understand how to move around, let's go to the map. Colored masas colores now seem. Okay, I think this is saying the colors don't mean anything. Okay. So follow all the directions. Absolutely. Oh, so what's the absolute change in the humor, which I guess is like the mood of the passenger? Sum up. Okay, so I think what we're saying is, oh, no, hang on. So we're only interested in this particular one. Okay. Os endereços nunca se repetirá dentro del mismo cristal. Something is never repeated in the same question. What is this word? Translate this from Portuguese. Addresses. Okay, so I guess it's saying you never revisit the same address. In other words, I guess this is just saying you don't have to think about, can you trigger this? Like if you walk around and then come back to this thing, do you have to trigger that twice? It's saying you won't revisit the same place, so don't even worry about it. Okay. Okay, so we're only interested in this. Along that route, there are two cells where you have that thing. Okay, all right, so what we need to do first is XLOOKUP this in in here. Lock, and I hate the way it jumps back down when I do that because I want to point to the thing right next to it. This is where VLOOKUP is helpful. But anyway, return from there. Oops. Okay, so now I've got the code, which will match to what's on the map, and I've got the number of points, which I'm going to multiply by. So what I need to figure out is, of all the places that I get to along here, what have I got here? Okay, so all right, fine. This isn't the most elegant way to do it, but I think what I'm going to do nonetheless is just build up the whole. So I'll scan. Now let me see, do I want to start from the text or from the, I think I want to start from the address. So I'll say indirect, mappa, exclamation mark, and this. So I'm starting from that cell, and then I'm going to iterate through each of these. So I want to split that, which I can do with, well, I showed you one way, so I'll show you another way. Now you can split it out with regex extract like we did before, or you can do it more old-fashioned way, mid this sequence len of this, which I think is always 25, but let's do it dynamically anyway. 1, and then given the position and the arrow, how are we going to move? And the answer is we're going to offset from A by a number of rows, which is going to be V equals this minus V equals that. So in other words, if the next arrow is down, we're going to add 1 to the row number. If the next arrow is up, we're going to subtract 1 from the row number. And then the column offset is going to be V equals that. So if it's to the right, we're going to add 1 to the column number minus V equals that. So all of these 4, they'll all zero out except 1, and the 1 will be in the right version of row or column, and it'll have the right sign. So that will get me what I need, except that I think that's going to return a series of cell references that it won't be happy with. Oh, hang on. So can I map single this? Always my magic trick if it works, but it doesn't. Okay. All right, so the alternative then is just to do separate row and column numbers. So first I'll do one for the row number. So do lambda AV A plus all that stuff. And then this time we're going to start from, don't need the map piece, we just need row of indirect of that. So that gives me my sequence of row numbers. And then I want to do the same thing for the sequence of column numbers. So start from column of blah, blah, blah. And then I'm just going to shift this over. So that is the one that goes negative, and this is the one that goes positive. So we start off in F8, which is 7. No, F is 6. So in column 6 rows, this is the row, this is the column. Then this is the code, and that is going to be index. Here, block. Row number, column number. And I hate that it includes that, so I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so, and actually we can just make both of these hash. And then I just need to know how many times it is PB, so it's going to be countifs. This is PB times that 15, gives me the 30. Good. So now I just need to do all this. So I think what I'm going to do is just mash it all into a let. So we'll say, actually, yeah, just put that straight in there. Put this straight in here. Not my most elegant writing, but never mind. Then we're going to be interested in sum of minus minus all this stuff is equal to this, which will give me my 2. And then multiply that by this. I probably should have looked ahead at what the next level calls for, just to see if I'm setting this up in a way that will help or hinder with that, because I haven't set it up in the most flexible of ways, but never mind. Oh, yep, no, very bad. You gotta lock these. 1, 2, whoops, no, 2, 3, 4. Would have been a bit of a giveaway when I copied it down and all of these were 0, but anyway. Now, am I interested in an absolute value? Is a question, but it's worth answering. I think I saw something. Yes, Varisao absolute. I'm pretty sure that's the absolute value or the absolute variance or something like that. So, I think we've got it now. Okay, and finally, nesta questão antes de iniciar a viagem. Before you start traveling, you have 100 humor, 100 happiness points, I guess. We're going to analyze the change in humor along every step of the way, I guess. For each shift, we have to calculate the total humor, considering all the somethings that occur along the way. Yes. ¿Cuál es mayor valor de humor? What is the highest humor value? Okay, so this is going to be very, very similar to what we did so far. Don't need that part right now. I just need this part here. No, that's a little more than I need, but I'll take it for now. So let's come down and put it here. And then we'll have to redirect a whole bunch of references, but that's fine. So this will point to here. If I had written this in a better way, it would be a lot easier to update this because I would have written a let starting with 2 input values. But anyway, whatever. I was silly and lazy. And now I slightly pay the price for it, but not that much, so it's fine. As long as I'm careful. Otherwise, it'll be inconsistent and then I'll majorly pay the price for it. But anyway, I think it's going to work. That, and then not that part, and not the minus minus. And I think that's going to give me everything that I passed through, and it does. So then we're going to XLOOK that up. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to VLOOK it up, because then I won't have to jump back down here and jump back up again. And I'm definitely writing a Franken formula here that should be written with a let, but sometimes when you know the basic setup, you can get away with this. hard-code a 2 just to make it really offensive. And then we're going to make it if error 0. That is still an advantage of XLOOKUP that I wouldn't have to if error, but never mind. And then we're going to scan from 100 through all of this, sum. And then we're going to take the max of that. And hopefully that's going to be 225, and then we'll just copy on down. No, it's 205. Crap. Okay. Okay. In example 7, before we start, we have 100 points of humor. Ah, okay. So we include F8 as well. Whoops. All right. So, where can I add that? I can add it here. I mean, I'm making my formula 10 times more franken now, but never mind. The ship has sailed on writing an elegant formula here. So I'm going to VStack that with this, and I'm going to VStack this with this. So this is just adding the starting row and column number to my lookups, which will then, but let's just, before we do the max, let's just go back to the scan. So we go to 120, then we go to 160, then we go to 145, and then after a while we get to, yeah, okay, fine. So good, happy with that. All right, I've got 10 minutes left to do the bonuses, so hopefully that's enough. Let's see. If I put those in, good, okay. Let's just see, I should have 1,000 points now in theory. I don't, so I've done something wrong, but never mind. Okay. Something about how many times these appear on the map. Okay, I'm going to have to translate that one because I'm not sure what the heck that's saying. And I'm pretty sure I can figure out that it's Portuguese. Of the 8 possible facts, which one appears the least in the map? The answer should be the name of the fact and not its reference. Okay, fine. So we'll just add in countifs. Mappa. Home and by this. Then let's see, the least is 91, which is this, but we'll be vaguely proper and do XLOOKUP 0 in here, returning from here, here, exact match or X larger item. Okay, how many cells in the map are empty? No fact. Okay, so that's just going to be countifs. Boom, boom, boom. Blank. Okay. What is the sum of the change in humor of all the cells in the map? I think this is saying only add up the ones that make positive variations. Let's see, what is the sum of the mood variation? Add only the facts that generate positive variations. Okay. Okay, so let's just do filter this, where this is greater than 0. Okay. Then we are going to say sum, whoops, come down here. We are going to say sum of VLOOKUP, right, no, of if error, VLOOKUP. Bleh. Should have given this map a name, but again, that ship is also kind of sailed by now. So I'm just going to select that whole range, look that up in here. Lock. I don't need to lock, I'm not copying and pasting, but anyway, 20, if error 0, and add that up. Okay. On level 5, how many times do we go up? Don't include the example. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We're going to say let L5 smash. Not too late to use a let with a descriptive variable name. So that's level 3, level 4, level 5. No, here's level 5. Here are the offsets, not including the example. And then I want len of L5 smash minus len substitute L5 smash. I think we're interested in up arrows. Blank. Oops, I've somehow made that spill. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's because it's getting each one of them. I want to concat it all together. Okay, and let's see. We have 20 levels, 25 each. That's 500. So yes, about a quarter of them would be exactly what you'd expect. Qual é o maior número de vezes que o fazer ver passagem bonita aparecer? Okay, so I think it's asking how many times does see a beautiful passenger appear as a fact along the route. So let's see, what is the highest number of times that the see beautiful landscape, I assume, okay, yeah, anyway, throughout the same question. Okay, so I think what I really need for that is my level 7 workings ported back to level 6, even though my level 7 workings are extremely hideous, but fine. So copy all that. Now I'm really going to regret not having put in a proper let, but wait, sorry, that's wrong one. Down here. Okay. So I bring that up here. Put it over here. Now some subset of this, not the max, not the scan, not the if error, not the VLOOKUP, everything inside that. So index, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want the first one, or do I? Oh, that's an interesting question. That is a very interesting question. If the logic for level 7 is that I include the stops along the way, then maybe that should be the logic for level 6 as well. So here's a quick way to check for that. We'll say indirect, no, not index, indirect, mappa, exclamation mark, and this. And I want to know if that's equal to this. And that is false here, but the question is it ever true? And yes, it is true here and nowhere else. So on this level, I don't know. Am I supposed to include this as part of the route? I suppose the answer is that I am, because I didn't get the right answer here unless I changed to include it. So yes. Alright, so I guess I'll just add this to this giant hot mess of a thing. So it's going to be sum of all that nonsense and that nonsense also. So it should change nothing everywhere except here. And that is the case. And then here it changes the answer. And then it should not change any other answers. And that is the case. All right. I'm just going to highlight this one because I don't know. Curious to see how that one turns out. Anyway. All right. So now, so I think I should include it. So here I've got 26, which means it does include it. And I'm interested in PB, I think, which is paisaje bonita or something like that. So it's sum minus minus. All that stuff is equal to PB. And the sum of all of those is 38. All right, well, I'm pretty much out of time now anyway, so if I'm wrong, I'm stuffed. So let's plug in this answer, and then we will go and see what I got right and what I got wrong. 1130, oh dang. I'm missing quite a bit now. That probably means I'm missing that 70 pointer, and then so anyway, all right, fine. So time's up. I got 1130. Let's see what went wrong. Okay, I've jumped to the next day because I did do some live debugging on this and I made such a mess of it that it was more confusing than it was worth. It turns out these mistakes were both pretty simple. First here, I don't know why I even looked at the translation. It asked about the biggest number of times, not the total number of times. So that should have just been a max and not a sum, and then it was fine. And then level 6, I looked back at the video, I even said the words absolute value out loud, just as I was committing these answers, and then didn't put in an absolute value. So two pretty minor wobbles there. I don't think I can even blame the fact that it was in Portuguese. I think it was just my typical, skimming the case too fast for my own good. But that's what went wrong there. And that is all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.